Good day. Hello, folks. This is Joseph Strauss on Strauss TV. We talk here on this channel about the truth, nothing but the truth, and we do try to keep our audience entertained. So we will talk about things which obviously come close to conspiracy theories, and however, we always try to back up as much as we can and find the information to have proper documentation. Today I'd like to say some stuff about the subprime mortgage crisis. Even it's back in 2006, 7, and 8 where it collapsed. The understanding of it is mostly not known by the public, because the scheme they ran had really been worked out over many years of thinking and strategizing. The bankers, including the legislators, worked hand in hand, and in the 1999, the change from President Bush to adopt a new law to the Bretton Woods regulation they created in 1933 opened up the door for the subprime mortgage. So basically, the very simple explanation how that worked was the Bretton Woods law opening or change modification made it possible for banks to sell denominated promissory notes into a trust. So people come in the bank, and obviously everybody was welcome because there was high commissions and so forth included in the assigning of loans. And the vehicle we were set up on the one side was the bank creating the customer and client to a new promissory note, and the trust vehicle, which was the mortgage-backed security vehicle, was already waiting there and being loaded like a truck, load the truck and leave town, right? So now what happened is basically on the other side of that aisle there was sitting the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachses, and the Deutsche Banks, and Barclays, and who you name it, and any player in the world, and there's just probably 22 of those size magnitude institutions which can handle that, were sitting on the other side of the MBS truck, of the mortgage-backed security truck, and waiting for loading their money into it. Why did they do this? Because the Bretton Woods Modification Act in 1999 was actually given the bank the opportunity to pretend to be a lender, which they were not basically, and they just took the paper and assigned this paper within 48 hours over to the mortgage-backed security vehicle, okay, the special investment vehicle they called it later, and what else names they found. But that was the beginning of the whole setup, because now they are signing it over, and basically the JP Morgan guys and the Goldman Sachs and so forth sitting in this mortgage-backed security trust, they took this and separated it from the mortgage or from the deed of trust. So that actually is already basically in the laws of the United States codes already in a thing which is impossible to do, because it's called a bifurcation. So we cannot separate a mortgage from a promissory note. It has to go together all the time. So it did not go together all the time, because as you see in the registration, the property, the tax collectors, there is usually no sign that they even took care of taking the mortgage in the registry off the books and change the names. It's usually not happening. So now we have those trust vehicles, MBS, this mortgage-backed security trust vehicle, loaded, and now we go out there and put it in a REMIC. And in that REMIC there was, it's called a real estate mortgaged investment conduit. Like a conduit, it's a very nice name, just use a conduit because you plug the stuff in there. So they plugged all the securitized interested people in there, and these people were then all these little investors which got promised higher returns, because obviously if the bank can sell up to 1.5 times the nominal value, face value of the note into the mortgage-backed security trust, and then this mortgage-backed security trust receives this for 1.5 times the price, but the note value over the length of 30 years, as an example, was maybe 2.5 times and more. So now they took this and actually advanced this again for a discount into the REMIC. So it might have cost now the REMIC 1.75 or 1.9 times the nominal note value. So they made money. So the banker already made his money on his 1.5 ratio dollar given, then he got a $50,000 premium above, because the mortgage-backed security guys, the Goldmans,
the JP Morgan still like to give him 150 because they knew they can resell this for 190 and 200,000, so let's say for 1.75 or 2 times the value of the note. So now it's sitting in the REMIC and it's separated from that mortgage. So that means it became a stock, a security, and a bond basically. And that bond was supposed to pay this high dividend. But as we know, the defaults start kicking in, people couldn't pay, so the dividends couldn't be paid out, the bond value was evaporating in the marketplace, and here we have it. That's the crisis of the mortgage-backed security. To wrap it up, anytime this paper was floated into one of those vehicles, it could have gone through a few hands before, because if the bank was happy with 1.10, then basically the note was always being paid off already. So, and also what is interesting is that actually the debtor, the note maker, basically the mortgage maker, became unknowingly an investor. So that's a new fact in this circle and circus, because now actually they do actually the true lending. The true lending in this view is being violated. So because if I will sign a mortgage and sign it over to MERS or whoever in this promissory notes, then basically I am actually not being faced the truth, and I have been circumvented, because actually I'm the investor giving my note and maker of the note, and actually I should have been paid the profits on it. So anyways, this will be the good for the day, and I hope I see you soon by Strauss TV with some more on things like notes.